Hey everybody, it's Pinky. I wanted to speak on a topic about education. I was talking to my niece about some things, and I thought I'd come on here and share my thoughts with you all because um, some of you may or may not have children, but the information I think is kind of useful to have, or at least useful to ponder. Speaking to my niece about some things, she's in high school, and explaining some things to her about what our education system is doing now. But to start from the beginning, George Bush passed a law, as everyone knows, called the No Child Left Behind Act. And I wanted to speak to the purpose of that and the effects that it has had on our children who have been coming up underneath that sort of system. First of all, education these days is more or less a system of indoctrination and not education, and I'll tell you why. Because anytime you take something and cram a bunch of information into it and then make sure that they can regurgitate that information on a test or whatever, but they don't get to question it, they don't get to explore it, they don't get to expound upon it, then that's not education, that's indoctrination. The purpose of the liberal arts, when you reach college and so forth, is so that a person can explore and learn and question and ponder and relay and possibly come up with their own theories on certain things. But these days, it is not that. It's that you're handed a group of data and facts and so-called history, and you're asked to memorize those things that others have done without question, and then be able to check a box or fill in a circle on a standardized test in order to measure your intelligence. That is no good, because the true test of intelligence is how you can take information and break it down and either relate it to yourself or question it or to expand upon it or to disprove it, or whatever the case may be with that information. It is not just simply to learn it. Okay, a dog can learn tricks, a dog can learn things, monkeys can learn tricks, and be able to mimic or to redo something that they've done before. But do we consider dogs or monkeys as being intelligent, capable of thought, capable of expanding themselves, capable of doing something to benefit society as a whole? No, we don't. um, Back in the day, there were other things that children were allowed to do in order to help to enhance themselves, their growth, their level of intelligence. And those things always had to do with either creativity or with imagination or things of that nature, where a person has to come outside of themselves, think outside of the box, and make something out of nothing. Not just take something that they were given and to be able to recount that information back. Everything that had to do with art or music or other things that children can do in order to enhance themselves and to flow in manners and ways that they feel that are necessary, have been X'd out of the schools. Now, they're not totally gone, but due to funding and due to other things, there's not as much emphasis placed on those areas. And it's also a proven fact that children who take part in extracurricular activities, no matter what they are, whether they be sports or music or whatever, dance, things of that nature, those children perform better in school on their intellectual work. It would seem as if those children would be the opposite, because they're doing so many things, they have so many tight schedules that they did not have time to learn this information. But that's not necessarily true. It's that they are more a part of their own learning process. When I was younger, you were given a freedom and opportunity to explore. And whether that meant your mother just saying go outside and play or not, we still had the freedom to go out and to dig in the dirt, or to take boxes and stack them up, or dig and make a tree house, or anything, the old mud pies or whatever. Make up or invent your own games with other children in your neighborhood. That creativity and that imagination was helpful to us as far as our own growth and our own development. These days, a lot of children, unfortunately, they go to school, they're in there for 8 hours, they're rammed all these facts, and they come home with these unimaginably huge size homework packets, okay? And they are just work, learn all fact, and they don't get any time to sit there and ponder on any of it. And or when they're done with that, what do? They eat. They might watch television, play some video games, or get on a computer or something these days. They're not really outside. They're not enjoying life. They're not, in nature playing with trees, or swinging off of stuff. All of that is necessary in a child's life. And now you have people saying, oh, these children are hyperactive in school. They need Ritalin. They have ADHD. Well, children are naturally have boundless energy within them, and you cannot expect them to sit down for 8 hours a day and stare at a boring teacher giving a boring lecture about boring things and not really be able to put their hands on things, or to explore things, or move around in that environment, and expect them not to fidget, expect them not to take a pencil and want to pop the person next to them in the head. You can't expect that, because children have to have outlets for all of that boundless energy. So when they don't have it, it's just you cannot do that to children.